evening to you and happy new month of October. I am Ndiro Ganga, ready to bring you up to speed with all the top stories making headlines across the globe. And as you know, we are all about business. Here's a glance of some of those stories making headlines in the business world.
Globally, Customer Week is celebrated annually during the first week of October.
Customer Service Week 2018 launch, all in an effort to keep you smiling. 2018 Taxpayers Month launch. We are your friends, KRA tells taxpayers. Tuskys launches a 200 million multi-brand store. Brick-and-mortar retail still has a few tricks up its sleeves. Thank you for staying with us. Now on to our top story. The Customer Service Week, which is an international observance, has officially kicked off today. The week is meant to shed light on the importance of customer service and of the people who serve and support customers on a daily basis. Our reporter Daisy Wambua attended the official kickoff of the week and brings us the following report.
The Customer Service Week that ends on Friday the 5th will see several entities appreciate their customers in an effort to live up to the adage, customer is king. The ceremony to mark the start of this all-important week was officiated by Margaret Kobia, the Cabinet Secretary Public Service, Youth and Gender Affairs at Huduma Center Teleposta Towers. While addressing those present, she said that public service is an integral part of service delivery.
The only way government has to provide service is through public service. It's one of the greatest ways of how governments serve their citizens. Therefore, it is no wonder the Huduma centers in this country, or the launch of Huduma Center in 2013, was done by the President championing the government how to improve service delivery.
She continued to say that the week was meant to recognize the customer service professionals.
Today, we recognize the people who serve in government and provide customer service as professionals. We also want to reflect to what extent have we been giving an excellent customer experience to our clients.
Also in attendance was Rachel Shabesh, the Chief Administrative Secretary under the Ministry of Public Service, Youth and Gender Affairs, who noted the efforts of the Huduma centers in service delivery and assured them of continued support to enable them deliver on their mandate.
The organization that is serving Kenyans at the grassroots in the hugest way possible. We have gone around this country with the CS and we have seen your work. So even as we start this week, we want to assure you that we will continue putting support to ensure that you are the best at your work, but also to grow you as a people, because we know with good employees who are happy and are satisfied, then the work is much easier.
Given that the week focuses on customers, we spoke to Alice Shihundu, the center manager at Huduma Center GPO, to shed light on why the week was integral in service delivery.
We know we have services that have to be accessed. So we embrace it when they are accessed by the customer. Without the customer accessing the services, then it means we are doing zero work. And what does the customer need in our center? The customer needs efficiency, respect, integrity, and respect at all time, and maybe quick service. And that is what we are doing to them.
During this week, services ranging from ID application of a birth certificate, among others, that are offered at Huduma centers will take less than normal time, and hence Kenyans are urged to take the advantage of the remaining days in the week.
We have services like birth certificate, good contact. We have sat in a meeting and said that we are doing the production of the birth certificate, the ID, and good contact instant. This time we are not giving them a duration to come back, no. During Customer Service Week, you apply your good contact today. By evening, it will be uploaded on your eCitizen account. You apply birth certificate, by evening, you pick your birth certificate. So that is how we are impressing our customer during this Customer Service Week.
Speaking to a customer waiting to be served, She stated that the service delivery had improved and beseeched the center to continue with the initiative.
So as I may say, it's so faster and they are serving people good. Because if I relate to the other times, it's good. But now we are finding everything at one stop center. So I think this is good, and I may say they should go on with whatever they are doing, because we are finding everything at one place.
As the world marks Customer Service Week, it is important for businesses to remember that Customer Service Week should be every week of the year if they are to retain the one that pays the bills, the customer. For BrandPlus TV Business News, I am Daisy Wambua.
The Kenya Revenue Authority has today launched the 2018 Taxpayers Month at the Times Towers in Nairobi, while equally celebrating the 13th anniversary of the event. With this year's theme of the Taxpayers Month being expanding the tax base to enable the Big Four agenda, the event is seeking to bridge the gap between the taxpayers and the Kenya Revenue Authority. Take a look at that story. Among the government dignitaries that attended the official opening of the event was Cabinet Secretary, Treasury and National Planning, Henry Rotich. While launching the new and improved KRA website, Rotich emphasized the importance of the Kenya Revenue Authority in the success of the Big Four agenda.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the Commissioner General earlier noted, the 2018 Taxpayers Month activities shall be driven by the theme expanding the tax base to enable the Big Four agenda. This is very timely. As you know, we have already embarked on implementing the Big Four agenda, which requires resources and also mobilizing private sector resources at the same time to achieve this very important plan. Arguably, these commitments cannot be met without taxation. We cannot provide the critical social services in health and education needed by the majority of Kenyans without taxation. We cannot meet the commitments under the Big Four agenda without taxation.
Speaking in the same accord was the KRA Board Chair, Francis Muthaura. During his address, he affirmed KRA's commitment to the government Big Four agenda through efficient tax collection models to maximize the authority's revenue basket.
KRA has, over the years, demonstrated its capacity to serve as a key pillar in supporting Kenya's development agenda through efficient revenue mobilization. This achievement has been earned through consistent focus on reforms geared towards modernizing revenue administration processes, both legal and administrative. The Big Four agenda, therefore, coincides with the KRA transformation agenda to create operational efficiency and support Kenya's development aspirations.
Unveiled at the event was also the new tax ambassador, former Chief Justice Dr. Willie Mutunga, for his efforts in championing tax remittances and helping the authority realize its tax mandate. While accepting the appointment, Dr. Mutunga urged both the Treasury and the KRA to keenly have a conversation around the welfare of the taxpayer.
We all know that 6% of Kenyans live below the poverty line. And we need a tax regime that can lift as many Kenyans as possible out of poverty. And that means we need a tax regime that is fair, progressive, and efficient. One that doesn't punish the poor and rewards the rich.
The relationship between the taxpayer and KRA has always been a shaky one due to irregularities and discrepancies in the system. It is for this reason John Joraine, Commissioner General KRA, says the authority will be introducing new reforms in the business sector to streamline the system so that taxpayers can go about their business with ease.
Among the key business process reforms that we have undertaken include the reconfiguring of our tax compliance and audit process so as to anchor this on risk profiles and data analysis. This approach, which commonly internally we refer to as data-driven compliance, is meant not only to help us optimize our compliance and audit interventions, but in addition to ensure objectivity in our engagements with taxpayers. In doing so, we aim to remove perennial complaints from taxpayers about unfairness and bias in audit selection. We also provide standardization in the approach to dispute resolution, besides ensuring speedy resolution. Through this program, we aim to substantially reduce the number of tax disputes finding their way into the judicial system, with the ultimate goal being to resolve at least 80% of our tax disputes.
With a number of activities lined up for the Taxpayers Month, such as corporate social responsibility programs, one-on-one outreach to the taxpayers and the Tax Summit, it is the hope of KRA that by the end of the month, they would have built a solid relationship with taxpayers. Now to matters exam. Examinations are used for academic stratification and sifting of students as they go through the various stages of education. It is for this reason that students feel the pressure to excel. Earlier today, Principal Secretary, Ministry of Education, Dr. Belio Kipsang, and NEC Chairperson, Professor George Magoha, met with the officials of Secondary and Primary School Heads Association and Regional Coordinators of Education to discuss exam preparedness. Our reporter Elsa Atieno was present at the workshop and brings us the following story.
Addressing the press today at the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, Principal Secretary Education Dr. Richard Belio Kipsang said that they have released 12.7 billion shillings to secondary schools over and above the earlier disbursement of 2.8 billion shillings so that everyone can focus on delivering exams.
The secondary schools, as Mr. Ndimulu will confirm, we have released the monies to our secondary schools so that we can all settle and focus on delivering on examination. On capitation, we've released 12.7 billion shillings to our secondary schools. We had earlier released 2.8 billion shillings to our primary schools. So in total, we have released almost 15 billion shillings to our institution. But what was released for our secondary schools is 12.7 billion shillings.
The economic development of any nation heavily relies on its workforce. It is paramount that it is well equipped with the skill sets and knowledge they require to contribute gainfully to the economy. During the press conference, the chair for the Kenya National Examination Council, Professor George Magoha, said that 99.9% of teachers are responsible for good results, but if you have a tank full of petrol and you put a few bottles of water, the whole load is contaminated.
Lest we forget, it is the teachers that are responsible for the good results that we have had over the last 2 years, 99.9% of them. But you will remember, if you have a huge tanker with petrol and you just put maybe a few bottles of water inside, then that petrol is contaminated. And that's why we are going to continue to move around. And I want to correct a few misconceptions that may have gone across. First of all, we have not condemned any county because the cartels of examinations in this country are very intricate and they involve about 20 people, and those 20 people cover the whole nation.
Enforcement officers.
Professor Magoha added that they know there are plans to impersonate people in exams and they are closely watching.
There are many other counties that are doing many things. But I want just to say that they should be warned because we are watching them. For example, there are plans to impersonate people in the exams, and we are closely watching what they want to do. And don't dare or push us, because if you want us to show you what we have, you will be shocked. The only good thing is that we will not show you until after the exam. That is if they dare to proceed on. Early exposure.
Exam malpractice not only impedes intellectual progress of the nation, but also bears a huge economic burden. Those who make it through the system riding on exam malpractices end up in the job market, creating a less than desirable outcome for employers. It is therefore the prerogative of every Kenyan to ensure that exam malpractices are completely abolished, as they cost every taxpayer their hard-earned money. For BrandPlus TV Business News, I am Elsa Atieno.
Kenya Primary School Heads Association.
The world of business is drastically changing as consumers lean towards e-commerce, but brick-and-mortar outlets are fighting back by finding new ways of keeping the customer coming back. Towards this end, on Saturday evening, Tuskys Supermarkets launched a 200 million brand electronics store at their T-Mall branch. Our reporter Karari John attended the launch and has the following reports.
Even in the wake of increased competition in the retail sector with international brands making an entry into the local market, local retailers are still doing the most to keep the customers happy. One such entity is local retail giant Tuskys Supermarket, which on Saturday launched an offering that is set to redefine customers' in-store experience. At their Tuskys T-Mall branch, Nairobi, they launched a specialized electronics store, investing a whopping Kenya shillings 200 million in the project. CEO Tuskys Supermarket, Daniel Githua, pointed out during the launch that the facelift and the launch of the multi-brand electronics store is part of the organization's strategy as they mark 10 years of T-Mall branch.
Today, we are here because we have a story to tell. And it's a very good story. This store is now about 10 years old. About exactly 10 years old. So this is the 10th anniversary of Tuskys T-Mall. And just like a baby, on the 10th anniversary, we have decided to do something more than the usual birthdays. We have decided to do a facelift of the entire store.
Dinner set for you, ma'am.
As part of Tuskys Supermarket appreciating their customers, the CEO announced to the customers in attendance that the chain will have the largest shopping bonanza in Kenya during the festive season.
We are going to start the biggest, the largest, and the most exciting shopping bonanza that has ever been done in this country. Just about 15 days from now. Last year, if you remember, in Christmas, we were giving away 20 cars to winning customers, 800 TVs, 200 microwaves, and many other things. This year, what we have for Christmas is going to make 2017 to look like child play. We've prepared a very, very nice Christmas bonanza for our customers.
Even as the war for customers continues, both in the digital and brick and mortar space, it is only those who come up with the innovative solution that are bound to come out on top. It's not a doubt when you walk into a supermarket, you want what you need easy and fast. Now, Tuskys Supermarket has revolutionized the shopping world, giving you all electronics under one roof. Now, you know what and where to shop. Reporting for BrandPlus TV, I am Karari John, Wambugu.
Now let's take a look at the day's market performances, and here is a summary. That is a run-through of how the markets performed today, but for more in-depth analysis of the same, tune in tomorrow at 8 a.m. for my next big bet with Rich Nderitu and Karanja Daniel. Now let's take a look at the day's weather reports. Well, that's all the time we had for you on the Business News Desk. On behalf of everyone that made it a success, thank you very much for watching. Catch a rerun of this very bulletin at 10 p.m. tonight. We wish you a fruitful new month. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Good night and God bless.